All right, back here with In the Marbles weekly racing podcast, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw it over to Preston. You guys heard it from me last week or a couple weeks ago. Formula One season's over for me. So Preston's going to talk to you about Bahrain because, man, it's over.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It pretty much is over. Lewis Hamilton is the champion, world champion 7-time, which good on him. Congratulations. That's a pretty big accomplishment.
It is, and I tell you what, man, I thought about it more after F1 rant and after we talked to Charlie and after all that. It's like, yeah, I wish Formula One would do something different. But, man, I mean, am I going to still watch the race? Yeah. I mean, I'm going to at least watch the first few laps and then fast forward it, and then Hamilton would do his few pit stops and then come across, and Toto Wolff would be like, "Get in there, Lewis," and he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much, guys. This is such an awesome job you guys did with the car." Then he'll do his little jump. They'll have the anthems, champagne spray, and
that'll be it.
And then I'll watch the next to last race, and it'll be the same thing. And then I'll watch and then I'll watch the last race, and it'll be the same thing. And whatever.
I don't think there's a whole lot to really go over coming up this weekend. Just Lewis Hamilton is the defending race winner.
Lewis Hamilton is the champion. Who cares if he's the defending race champion? He's the champion of Formula One, man.
We're racing regular Bahrain this weekend, and then next weekend they'll race the outer circuit, which is mostly part of the regular circuit, and then they'll just skip most of the infield course. So it's
that's great.
It's almost like it would almost be kind of like a Baku. Almost kind of like that. Just a lot of straights and a lot of speed, and that's about it. So
great. That's awesome, Formula One. I can't wait.
So not a lot to talk about. Bahrain coming up this weekend. I haven't even checked the schedule to see what time.
It's going to be on November 29th at 9:10 a.m. on ESPN. Make sure to check that out if you're still into Formula One like Preston is here, because
I'll have to record it because I think actually, you know what? I am off on Sunday, so I will be watching it.
Yep, I'll be off as well. And okay, great. Formula One.
I'll record it and go and I'll see. So what I did with the last race, I watched the entire race, but I still recorded it, and then I went back and watched it again just to watch it again.
Yeah, and we could talk more about Formula One, and I think I've beaten the dead horse so many times. People listening to this episode, or pick one episode that I had where we're talking Formula One, and I'm the broken record. I'm just a squeaky wheel that's trying to get out there to, hey, this is boring. I mean, even when I was watching it with Schumacher, it's like, man, Schumacher always wins.
Right.
There's no unpredictability like we've talked about so much in NASCAR. We want that, and we get that from time to time, but for the most part, the same people are up there. But Formula One takes it to another level, I feel. And it's just, after he secured it, in Turkey, that was it. The season's over.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point to, in my opinion, why waste the money? It's like, just finish just pack up and go home. And enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, 3 races to go.
Yeah, 3 races to go. Don't even spend the money on the logistics or anything. Just pack it up, man. What do you think of that?
I guess maybe that, I don't know what the FIA thinks or anything like that, but maybe that's a good segue for people to think about. Should Formula One maybe think about doing some kind of like what NASCAR does, maybe a playoff or something? I don't know. Or, as Charlie brought it up and you've brought it up before, should they give points to every single finisher? Maybe that would make things more interesting later in the season. I don't know.
I don't think it will. And thinking about it more and more, yeah, giving a point to everybody, 20 all the way down to 1 is great on paper. But not if Lewis Hamilton gets 20, 20, 20, 19, 20, 20, 20, 18, 20, 20, 20,
But looking at it now, though, I mean, that might be a little bit better than him getting 25, 25, 25, because, it's 25 for first place, and then for second, it's 18 points.
That's a heck of a gap.
And we all know that Mercedes is usually up front most of the time. He's finishing 1 and 2. And then it's, I think it goes down to 12 points, for third. That's a huge gap.
Well, I get the payout on consistency. That's what they want.
Yeah.
I think that's what the FIA wants. They want that to show that driver has the consistency in order to run well, in order to do well, and that team to do well.
The team does well because they've got the money to do it.
But yeah, then they go back into win the Constructors Championships, get 100 and or however many it is, $1 million to put in R&D and engines and all that stuff, and they just come back stronger the next year, and then eventually there's going to be a team like Force India or maybe Aston Martin to come up tomorrow or next year that just does something a little different and dominates.
That would be ideal.
But, because that happened with Red Bull. Ferrari was on a rail, and then all of a sudden, Red Bull comes up, and who's this guy? Who are these guys? And they win 4 world championships in a row with Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah.
And I bet that was boring to watch as, Formula One and Mercedes. It's like, who are these guys? And this is boring.
Yeah.
It's always boring if it isn't your team winning.
That is true. That's very true.
But, you could look at it like NASCAR. If you're a Joe Gibbs fan, you love to see the Kyle Busch dominating the Joe Gibbs, whoever it is. Now Eric Jones, but now Christopher Bell coming in. Eric Jones, Christopher Bell, whomever it is, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch. If they're up front, you're happy. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. You don't want to see the Harvick win or Stewart Haas Racing run well. You want to see your team dominate, and specifically your driver. So for all the Brits, hey, Lewis Hamilton's our driver, and Mercedes is our team. They're doing great. We're happy, but everybody else around the world just, ugh.
Yeah. Well,
and that's really unfortunate. I wish something would change.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe in a year or two. I don't know what the new Concord agreement. I think that got pushed back to 2022, just like with NASCAR's whole Gen 7 car thing too. So we have to wait an extra year for all of that to see what happens.
I would dare say that 2020 is a black hole, that everything got pushed over to the right one, and that's it.
A black hole where everything normal got sucked into it and just got spit out into another dimension.
Yeah, just got pushed 1 year over. Like everything we wanted to do this year. I wanted to go to 9 NASCAR races this year. I made it to 3, 4, 5.
Well, at least you made it to 5.
That's true. Be thankful for that. It is Thanksgiving. I should be thankful for that. Instead of saying what I don't have, be thankful for what I did get this year.
Yeah.
And got a lot of good memories and many more coming down the road, man. That was a short weekend review, man.
There's not a whole lot unfortunately, there's just not a lot to talk about. I mean, I wish there was more to talk about, but.
Yeah, and if it was one of those things where Formula One was, oh man, this might go down to the end. It's Lewis Hamilton and Verstappen, and maybe Bottas is still mathematically involved in there.
Yeah.
I would be a little more invested. But nope.
The only thing that's really coming down to the end is like the race for 4th place, if you want to just call it in the driver's standings alone, and then the race for 3rd in the constructors, which has got like 4 teams involved almost. So, I mean, that's, like you said before, who cares about 3rd place?
Yeah, who cares about 2nd place? If you're not hoisting the championship trophy, whether constructors or driver, I'm not even going to, if I were a Sebastian Vettel or Max Verstappen, I'm like, no, I'm not here to race for 3rd. I'm here to race for 1st. Yeah, you can still win the race. Ooh.
Yeah.
But I will say this again. Any driver takes Lewis Hamilton out, I'll be my favorite driver.
Or if anybody just beats him in general.
No.
Oh.
If anybody takes him out on turn 1, lap 1, bam, hits him, they're my driver. Hands down.
I mean, that almost happened at Turkey when it was wet.
Yeah, it almost happened. And I was, this might, you lost your chance to for me to sport you, man. But that was our weekend preview. Formula One, again, that's going to be on November 29th at 9:10 a.m. Check your local listings there on ESPN because that's where it comes on. And other than that, I got something special lined up here, so we're going to go ahead and go into another ad read from the Unhinged Sports Network and from us, and we'll be right back.